If you're in the road construction game, you know that bitumen is pretty much the lifeblood of your projects. But here's a question. Are you getting the absolute best quality for the best possible price? Well, in this explainer, we're going to look at how sourcing from Iran, one of the world's top suppliers, could be a real game changer for your business. All right, let's jump right in.
So, first things first, let's talk about the number that gets everyone's attention, $310 per ton. That's the average FOB, or free on board, price for top-notch Iranian bitumen right now. And all that means is the seller handles all the costs to get it loaded onto the ship. In the global market, that is an incredibly competitive price.
And that just begs the question, right? How can a product that's known for its high purity be priced a good 10 to 15% lower than its main competitors in the region? Is there a catch? Well, that is exactly what we are here to unpack. To answer that, we've got to understand Iran's place in the market. See, it's not just about the price tag. It's about scale, it's about quality, and it's about reliability. All of that together makes a really powerful case for why it's a global leader. The foundation of that leadership? It's just sheer capacity. We're talking about a total annual production of over 5 million metric tons. To give you an idea of how much that is, it's enough to pave a 2-lane highway from New York to Los Angeles, and all the way back. This is no small-time operation. It's an industrial powerhouse that ensures a stable supply for projects of any size.
So, who's behind this massive output? You've got these huge players like Basargad Oil and Jaki Oil, and between them, they're pushing out over 4 million tons a year. But what's really key here are the certifications. We're talking ISO and ASTM, which are the absolute gold standards in the industry. That's your guarantee that you're getting a product that meets the highest international quality specs. And with a track record shipping to over 70 countries, you know you're dealing with pros.
And this is where it all comes together. When you put Iran side by side with its neighbors, that 10 to 15% price advantage becomes crystal clear. But here's the crucial point. You're not sacrificing quality for that saving. We're still talking about ASTM-grade bitumen, meaning it's been rigorously tested and certified. Plus, with fantastic logistical access through major southern ports, getting your product delivered is both efficient and cost-effective.
Okay, so you're interested. But which product is the right one for you? Let's get into the different grades available so you can see how to match the exact specification to your project's needs.
You know, the market has pretty much already spoken. A massive 70% of all Iranian bitumen exports fall under one specific grade, penetration grade 6070. It's kind of the workhorse of the industry. Its balance of strength and flexibility makes it the go-to choice for moderate climates and standard road paving all over the world.
But of course, one size never fits all. So let's break down these penetration grades. Think of it like this. The lower the number, the harder the bitumen. So a 40-50 grade? That's perfect for really hot climates and heavy traffic where you need a road surface that won't get soft or rut. On the flip side, a higher number like 8100 is softer, more flexible, ideal for colder places where you need a pavement to resist cracking when it freezes.
Now, for importers in tropical countries, viscosity grade or VG bitumen is often a much better choice. It's graded based on how it performs at high temperatures, which means it stays stable when things really start to heat up. VG30, for example, is what you'd want for highways with heavy traffic in those really warm regions.
And for more specialized jobs, think waterproofing, dust control, or sealing surfaces, you've got cutback and emulsion bitumen. These are basically ready-to-use liquid forms, and they're great for projects where heating isn't practical. Plus, they offer excellent adhesion even on damp surfaces.
Look, sourcing from anywhere new carries some risk. So how do you protect yourself? Let's walk through a simple but really effective due diligence checklist to make sure you're working with a legitimate, reliable supplier. It really just boils down to these 3 simple steps. First, do a quick check to verify their legal status with the Iran Chamber of Commerce. Super easy. Second, don't be shy about demanding the paperwork, especially those third-party inspection reports from trusted names like SGS or Intertek. That is your guarantee of quality. And third, ask for references. Any reputable supplier will be happy to connect you with their other satisfied clients.
And just as important is knowing what to look out for. If a price seems way too good to be true, guess what? It probably is. Missing contact info or a supplier who won't give you official documents like a pro forma invoice, those are major red flags. Trust your gut and just walk away.
So, you've done your homework, you've sidestepped the red flags, and you've found a reputable partner.
What happens next? Let's break down the entire transaction, from your initial request all the way to shipment, just to demystify the whole journey.
It follows a pretty standard international trade flow. Nothing too scary. You start with a request for quotation, or RFQ. Then you move to a formal contract using standard Incoterms. Those are just the internationally agreed upon rules for shipping. After that, you arrange payment and then manage the paperwork for the shipment. Simple, structured, and totally transparent.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, payments. And yes, there are financial restrictions, but that does not mean it's impossible. It just means the process is different. There are established, legitimate, and secure indirect channels that are now the standard way of doing things.
The most common solution is what's called a third country exchange. Here's how it works. You transfer your funds in a major currency like US dollars or euros to a licensed exchange house in a neutral country. That exchange then settles the payment with the Iranian exporter on their end. It's a secure and very widely accepted workaround.
And look, this isn't some fringe method. As our source material confirms, this hybrid system, which often involves a small down payment with the rest paid after inspection, is now the most common structure in the industry. It provides security for both you, the buyer, and for the seller.
Once the payment is all sorted, you've got flexible options for shipping. The industry standard is the new steel drum, which is great for small to medium-sized orders. If you want a more cost-effective solution for a bigger job, you can use 1-ton jumbo bags. And for those massive industrial projects, chartering an entire bulk vessel is the most economical way to go.
Finally, you need to make sure you get this full set of documents. The commercial invoice, that SGS report we mentioned, and the bill of lading are absolutely critical for a smooth customs clearance process back in your home country. And don't forget that universal HS code for petroleum bitumen. It's 27132000.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So after all that detail, what's the bottom line? Let's just crystallize the main points and look at the big picture strategic advantage of sourcing bitumen from Iran.
So, let's recap the key advantages. You get high purity, consistent quality that meets tough international standards. You get it at a significant 10 to 15% discount. It's delivered through strategic, well-connected ports, and you have a full range of grades and packaging options to pick from. It's a really powerful combination.
Which really just brings us to our final question for you to think about. With this unique blend of verified quality, compelling price, and secure logistics, could sourcing from Iran be the strategic move that gives your next big infrastructure project the edge it really needs? We hope this explainer has given you the info you need to make a smart decision. Thanks for watching.